Yeah? Well, why not? Ladies and gentlemen, from General Hospital Scorpio, Tristan Rogers. Hey! Look at this. I'm sure the first question they ask is, oh, this has got to be boring, but it's not.
Well, not for me, it isn't, no. I have a great time at it. I never get bored with it. Never.
Good. Well, we're going to find out more about Tristan, all this and more in today's edition of Our Magazine Club. And, my gosh, how do you handle all this? Huh? Does it
I
ever
handle
become
it
a problem?
real well, Gary.
You look like you do. Does it ever become a problem?
No, how can it become a problem? I mean, how can this sort of thing become a problem?
Now, listen.
We should all have problems like this.
Boy, I'm glad to hear that. You've had success in England, you've had success in Australia, and now here. Any different here than the other places?
Yeah, it's a lot more frenetic here. I mean, when you sort of get this kind of popularity at this level, it's a lot more reserved back in England, except, of course, if you're a pop group. But this General Hospital could never have conceived back in England, and it could never have conceived back in Australia to the extent that it has in this country.
What is it about it?
There's a whole lot of things. I think historically it happened at the right time. It happened at a time when there's this great hiatus in nighttime television and television in general, where there's really nothing special happening. And General Hospital came along with a rather banal form of entertainment like daytime television with a totally clean sheet, and they revamped the whole thing. This is Gloria Monty, the producer. And then we brought in offbeat storylines, we brought in a different style of acting and pace and so forth. But I think one of the things that GH has that not even Nighttime has at this point, and that is that we kind of have heroes on the show. We have the good guys getting out there and kicking the hell out of the bad guys. And at a time when people are, when the economy's bad and the crime rate's up and things don't look too bright at the moment, it's a speck in the dark, it's entertainment, and I think this is where it comes out of.
All right, that's all well and good, but let's find out the real reason.
All right.
Who can give me a good definition of why General Hospital is as popular and why you watch it? Who? All right, come here. Why?
It has the best storylines in the cutest guys.
That's it. Bottom line, huh? All right. All right,
I like her.
Huh? How about some questions for Tristan? Anybody have a question? Yes, ma'am. Would you stand, please?
Is O'Reilly really supposed to be your mother?
Interesting question, this one. Look, I don't honestly know. I asked the producer on at least a dozen occasions, and she always finds an excuse never to answer the question. So I think it's still up for grabs. It's still possible that she could be, but nobody knows whether she is, and no one's going to tell me if she is.
You mean you don't know who your mother is?
That's right, yeah. I'm one of these unfortunates that doesn't know who his mother is.
It's sort of filling the void for nighttime lax.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
sort of a stopgap.
All right.
I also heard that Billy Hayes might be going to another soap opera. Is this true, or is she coming back to General Hospital?
Well, in view of the fact that Billy was never pronounced dead, and in view of the fact that she's terribly popular, and you know how the way daytime television works, it doesn't matter whether you died with, like, a cannon hole in you. They can always bring you back to life again. And it's conceivable that they may bring her back. Yeah. I know there's a lot of movement to bring her back at the moment, and I would certainly love to have her back.
So would I. I thought you two worked very well together.
She was wonderful. I love her.
Thank you very much for your question. Another question, please. Yes. Would you stand, please?
Sure. What turned you on about women?
Just about anything, darling.
That's great.
All right, I'm going to answer that question and your question, too, as I introduce Tristan Rogers' beautiful wife, Barbara Rogers. Barbara?
Hey.
How are you?
Hey, very well.
Let's sit down.
Have a seat.
Huh? Well, the most obvious question is, what is he doing after the show tonight?
Yeah, what am I doing after the show?
Probably we'll go out and have something very quick to eat, and he'll go home and start learning lines for tomorrow,
That
which is terribly boring.
That's a grueling
I forgot about
schedule.
that. I forgot all about the fact I have to work tomorrow. This is my day off today.
Yeah, that is a grueling schedule, though, isn't it?
I think General Hospital has the hardest schedule of anybody, nighttime, daytime, film, or you could never have a harder schedule than we have.
Yeah.
For
Now,
wives, too, I might tell you.
but you go a step beyond just being a wife. You help manage Tristan's career.
I
Is that
try
correct?
to.
Yeah.
I try to.
So you spend a great deal of time, both professionally as well as personally.
We sit down and we talk over a lot of things, like, you know, in terms of, you know, some deals come up on commercial deals or appearances, and we sit down and work out whether it's worth doing the appearance or whether it's worth undertaking such a venture, and we nut it out. And sometimes we don't agree on it, but we always sit down and talk about it.
You don't have real freedom of movement. I mean, if this group is any indicator.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you're
eyes you have, really.
you're getting even. Which brings up a question. Does that get in the way? Or do you look at it as that's money in the bank?
No, it's not money in the bank. It's just wonderful. We love America. I wanted to come and live in the United States. I lived here for 5 years beforehand. And I think American people are just wonderful. And they've been so kind to us.
Yeah.
Why should I accept it?
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Tristan.
Thank you, Gary.
Good luck to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Telephone's done a wonderful job.